A matter of how are you going to take the control yourself and lead yourself to a successful, peaceful, and full of happiness, good quality life. And that's a turn point. We all just born into a kind of life. We don't choose where to born. We don't choose what kind of life we are going to live, etc. So it's a kind of journey which is quite unclear at the start. And then we, up to certain age, still we are subject to, say, formations coming from the family, neighborhood, and schooling, culture, religion, etc., etc. And then when we feel that we are loaded with all this stuff, we just happen into entering into the life. And then life takes us here and there. And if we don't know how to deal with the life, then the life we live is more or less where the things takes me wherever they take. And then the choices starts. Choices are more or less, you make your choices rather than you just follow the, say, the flow or the stream of the public general, say, the trends of the world. And those are unfortunately not for your best. Those are for the best of the commercial business and best of the for governments and other people, etc. So it's a matter of how are you going to take the control yourself and lead yourself to a successful, peaceful, and full of happiness, good quality life. And that's a turn point. The whole thing is starting with you're born into something, your control is zero, and they leave you in a moment like at the age of 18, 19, 20, 24, etc. Then you build up your own presence. And then it goes on. Like in my case, I was in the mainstream until the age of 46. At the age of 46, first I realized I need to take the control of my own life rather than getting, say, pushed here and there by the mainstream presence of the society, business, technology, etc. Then, of course, you start with different tools. And those tools could be very difficult, but they could be very, very simple. For me, it was a simple one. First of all, I felt, okay, if I do live for others, I'm feeling like a revolving door or emergency office of a medical clinic or so. So you don't have any agenda, you don't have any plans of yourself, you just follow whatever others say impose on you, whatever they take you, etc. So wherever they take you, it's a better word. So what happens if when you take control over your destiny, you end up with a much peaceful, much fulfilled, and much satisfied life. And how can you do that? I use simple techniques. Like I ask, for example, what am I into? That simple question is very important for me because when I ask that, the answer is telling me whether it's worth to fight for that thing or not. What am I into? I'm into this. And that is a meaningful, good quality for myself. I mean, of course, I'm not alone. I live in a connected world. I live with everybody else, so I don't want to harm everybody or anybody. But I do at the same time live for myself as much as possible rather than living for the others, businesses or whatever, governments, etc. So that needs to be a balance. Of course, we are part of a life, we are part of a system, but that system should not take 100% of my presence. It should be reasonably represented. I will respect the system, but at the same time, I would make sure that I have a good base for feeling good, feeling happy, having a life worth of living. That should be my recipe for how can you save yourself when you have the control handed over to you. Because before that, when you are a child, the control is because of financial reasons or other reasons. You are subject to others' care. But after some time, you get a person, you get an individual, and the control goes over to you, that moment you should try to build up your own well-being rather than others' opinions, thoughts, ideas, etc., or wealth, or amount of money in their bank book.